Don't forget to like and subscribe. The realm of aviation is not without its mysteries. Enigmatic events that have left investigators, families, and experts grappling with more questions than answers. In our modern age of sophisticated technology and near-instant communication, there remain cases where entire aircraft vanish without a trace, and pioneering aviators and celebrated heroes are swallowed by the unknown. This introduction sets the stage for a series of reimagined disappearances, stories woven from the threads of tragedy, human error, and the unpredictable forces of nature. Here, we explore accounts of routine flights that took unexpected turns, ambitious journeys that ended in silence, and training missions that descended into chaos. Each case, rich in detail and steeped in mystery, invites us to reflect on the delicate balance between human ingenuity and the inexorable, often inscrutable, forces that shape our destiny. At 2:15 a.m. on April 12, 2016, a seemingly routine flight departed from Jensen International Airport, destined for Verona. Aboard were 215 individuals, passengers, crew, and families with hopes, dreams, and plans for the coming day. Yet what began as an ordinary flight soon plunged into the realm of the inexplicable. Within minutes of departure, air traffic controllers monitoring the aircraft progress noted an abrupt deviation from its scheduled course. Rather than following the expected route along familiar European airways, the aircraft executed a series of sharp, almost erratic turns. It first veered northward over the outskirts of Milan, then inexplicably curved west over the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, and finally altered course toward the stark, desolate shores of Iceland. Experts who later pored over the radar logs were left grappling with a cascade of unanswered questions. One prevailing theory suggests that Captain Lorenzo Vitale, typically known for his calm and measured demeanor, might have deliberately altered the course. A final, enigmatic farewell to his beloved hometown of Genoa, driven by personal turmoil and a desire to confront a destiny of his own making. Supporters of this theory point to subtle changes in his behavior leading up to the flight and even minor inconsistencies in his personal logbooks. Conversely, another school of thought considers the possibility of a sudden and catastrophic technical failure. A rapid depressurization, perhaps caused by a malfunctioning door seal or an unforeseen breakdown in a critical system, might have rendered everyone on board unconscious, leaving the aircraft to continue its flight under autopilot, a flight path dictated solely by the relentless forces of nature and its pre-programmed instructions. Yet a darker speculation lingers, that unidentified operatives may have deliberately commandeered the aircraft, turning off its transponder and steering it away from its intended destination for reasons that remain shrouded in secrecy and potentially tied to clandestine geopolitical maneuvers. Despite an exhaustive international search that spanned remote island chains and the icy waters off Iceland's coast, with advanced sonar, satellite imaging, and coordinated maritime efforts, no trace of the aircraft or its passengers has ever been found. The mystery deepens with each passing year, leaving families, investigators, and the public to wrestle with the haunting possibility that the flight may have simply evaporated into the void of an uncharted expanse. In another chapter of aviation history steeped in both hope and heartbreak, a pioneering aviator celebrated for breaking barriers and setting records vanished on August 21st, 1939, at the age of 37. Renowned for her daring spirit and her ability to defy the limitations of her time, she embarked on what was meant to be her most historic journey, a global circumnavigation that would cement her legacy as a trailblazer. Accompanied by her trusted navigator, she had already overcome numerous challenges and logged remarkable feats that inspired countless admirers around the world. Their final scheduled stop was a modest airstrip near Coral Bay in the remote reaches of the South Pacific, a waypoint that had guided many early adventurers through uncharted territories. When the aircraft failed to land as planned, worry quickly turned into a full-scale mystery that captured the attention of international media, governments, and the broader community of aviation enthusiasts. The ensuing investigations and public outcry led to spirited debates among experts and adventurers. Some suggested that a critical miscalculation in fuel reserves, compounded by unexpected headwinds and subtle navigational errors, might have forced an emergency landing on a deserted, uncharted island. In such a scenario, the combination of isolation, harsh environmental conditions, and limited supplies could have sealed the fate of the intrepid aviator and her navigator. Others maintained that the capricious forces of nature might have played a decisive role. A sudden, violent storm, unpredictable even by the standards of that era, may have overwhelmed the aircraft, driving it into a turbulent descent that scattered debris into the vast ocean and dense jungles. Expeditions launched over the following decades uncovered only fleeting traces, a corroded piece of metal here, a weathered journal page there, each discovery sparking new theories yet offering no conclusive answers. The mystery has since woven itself into the cultural tapestry of exploration, serving as both a cautionary tale and an enduring symbol of human ambition in the face of the unknown. During the tumultuous years of World War II, another mystery unfolded. A renowned bandleader, equally celebrated for his musical prowess and his daring aerial exploits, vanished under circumstances that remain as perplexing as they are tragic. On November 5, 1943, while piloting a vintage Spitfire, a modified aircraft employed both for reconnaissance and for lifting the spirits of troops with stirring musical broadcasts, he embarked on what was supposed to be a routine flight over the stormy expanse of the English Channel. Radar systems tracked the aircraft as it cut through the cold night air, its progress illuminated against the backdrop of a war-torn sky. Yet then, in a matter of moments, an unusual flash was detected near the rugged coast of Brittany. Eyewitnesses on the ground recalled a fleeting but intense burst of light, followed by the unmistakable sound of an explosion that shattered the stillness of the night. The aircraft was seen spiraling downward, swallowed by the tumultuous, churning sea below. In the chaotic aftermath, military investigators and historians pieced together fragments of testimony and scant physical evidence to form several theories. One explanation suggests that the aircraft fell victim to a tragic case of friendly fire, a catastrophic miscalculation amid the confusion of battle that resulted in an accidental engagement. Other accounts posit that his flight may have been connected to a covert intelligence mission, involving the transportation of sensitive information or personnel which might have made him a target for enemy operatives. With the inherent fog of war complicating every aspect of the investigation, reliable records were scarce, and the few pieces of recovered wreckage were inconclusive at best. His disappearance has since become an enduring enigma, a somber reminder of the cost of conflict and the unpredictable interplay between valor, fate, and the chaos of war. On June 17, 2005, a modern aviation mystery unfolded that further challenged the limits of contemporary technology and understanding. An Airbus A320, bearing the tail number XA109, was slated for a seemingly routine maintenance transfer flight from Aurora Regional Airport in Southern California. Engineer Riccardo Bonelli and his co-pilot Marco Duvall were at the helm, prepared for what was expected to be a short, uneventful journey. Yet, as the aircraft ascended into the clear blue sky, it began to exhibit behavior that defied every protocol and expectation. Instead of following the meticulously planned taxi route, XA-109 began to maneuver erratically along the runway. Within moments, air traffic controllers in Los Angeles were confronted with an unnerving silence. The vital transponder, normally broadcasting the plane's every move, had been inexplicably deactivated. The aircraft's flight path veered dramatically away from established procedures, its trajectory a disconcerting blend of automation and apparent randomness that left experts scrambling for an explanation. Federal investigators later emerged with a series of competing theories. One possibility is that the aircraft had been deliberately hijacked by unknown actors intent on obscuring its flight path, a scenario in which the deactivation of the transponder was a calculated move to mask the operation from prying eyes. Alternatively, the incident might have stemmed from a catastrophic malfunction within the flight management system, a technological failure so severe that it inadvertently thrust the pilots into an unauthorized flight mode, rendering them incapable of regaining control. Despite exhaustive investigations by the FBI, Homeland Security, and numerous aviation specialists combing through every available piece of evidence, the incident remains unresolved. The Airbus A320 mystery serves as a modern parable of the vulnerabilities that persist even in an age dominated by sophisticated technology, a poignant reminder that the unanticipated can still occur despite our best efforts at control. In yet another haunting case from a different era, a dual national mail and passenger aircraft vanished under mysterious circumstances on September 30th, 1952. Commanded by the experienced Captain Edmund Fraser, the aircraft departed from Buenos Aires with Lima as its intended destination. In the critical moments following takeoff, the only communication received was a series of enigmatic radio beeps. Experts later analyzed these sounds, interpreting them as a cryptic distress signal, descend all, a phrase that both puzzled and alarmed the aviation community. Rather than adhering to the established protocols that such a signal would typically initiate, the aircraft inexplicably altered its course. It set a trajectory toward the rugged, forbidding Andes Mountains, a region known for its treacherous peaks and unpredictable weather. For years, researchers, adventurers, and aviation enthusiasts mounted expeditions into the high passes and secluded valleys of the Andes, driven by the determination to unravel the mystery of the lost flight. In the year 2000, an intrepid team finally made a breakthrough by discovering scattered remnants in a secluded, icy crevasse, a shattered piece of metal, a weathered pilot's cap, and several personal items that had been miraculously preserved by the cold. Forensic analysis later confirmed that these fragments originated from the missing aircraft. The prevailing theory now holds that a combination of severe weather conditions and a catastrophic misinterpretation of navigational data forced the crew into an uncontrolled descent, ultimately culminating in a fatal collision with the unforgiving mountainside. Yet, the initial cryptic radio transmission remains a tantalizing mystery, its true meaning obscured by the passage of time and the relentless forces of nature. Perhaps the most confounding incident of all unfolded on December 3rd, 1947, during what was intended to be a straightforward training flight. Commander Arthur Langley led a squadron of 5 TBM Avengers from the Naval Air Station at Clearwater, Florida, embarking on a meticulously planned exercise over designated practice zones near the Bahama Islands. The mission was simple and routine. Fly east toward a specified area, then adjust course northward, and finally return safely to base, a set of instructions that had been executed flawlessly on numerous previous occasions. However, as the flight progressed, a malfunction in the navigational instruments set off a chain reaction of errors that would soon spiral beyond anyone's control. Commander Langley, misled by faulty data and increasingly erratic instrument readings, began to believe that the squadron was nearing the Florida Keys rather than the intended target. As the afternoon waned, the normally confident and steady communication from the cockpit grew increasingly frantic. In a moment of desperate clarity, one pilot suggested that a simple adjustment of heading west might be the key to reorienting the flight and steering them back to safety. Yet, as if fate itself were conspiring against them, the situation rapidly deteriorated. Deteriorating weather conditions, marked by sudden gusts of wind and rapidly forming storm clouds, compounded by critically low fuel reserves, plunged the squadron into a chaotic struggle against both time and the elements. Amid mounting desperation, over 300 Navy boats and aircraft were mobilized to scour both the open ocean and the adjacent coastal regions in a massive search and rescue effort. In an eerie twist of fate, one of the rescue vessels dispatched to aid in the search also vanished without explanation, adding another layer of sorrow and mystery to the unfolding tragedy. Subsequent Navy investigations painted a grim picture. A disastrous convergence of faulty navigation, unpredictable environmental challenges, and human error had conspired to create an insurmountable crisis. Today, the tragic loss of Commander Langley's squadron remains one of naval aviation's most haunting mysteries, a stark and enduring reminder of how even the most routine missions can unexpectedly descend into chaos and despair. Each of these intertwined cases, marked by extraordinary circumstances, unanswered questions, and an enduring legacy of human loss, captures the fragile interplay between human ingenuity and the capricious forces of nature. They serve as enduring reminders that, despite our technological advancements and our relentless pursuit of knowledge, there will always remain vast frontiers of the unknown. The true fates of these flights and the lives they carried continue to haunt investigators, fuel heated debates among experts, and inspire new generations of researchers to seek answers in the face of the inexplicable. What truly happened to these aircraft and the courageous souls on board? The questions persist, inviting us all to contemplate the delicate balance between fate, chance, and the unyielding forces that shape our destiny, even in the modern era.